here we go. The pool seal opener between Ireland and Australia at UCD's Belfield Bowl, and this packed out capacity crowd here on their feet to welcome the hosts and familiar foes in Australia. It is 5 against 6 in the world standings. It is Ireland against Australia, and everything on the line as both teams push for an opening win that would put them a huge distance towards qualification for the semi-finals. Very little room for error in the structure of this tournament. And Claire Malloy, who's taken over the captain's armband from Niamh Briggs, who unfortunately picked up an injury just 2 weeks ago, leads out her team to a brilliant reception in sunny Dublin. Well, Australia, they are the underdogs here, and they know they will have the crowd to contend with as well as the Irish team, but I'm sure they're expecting it. We'll have the national anthems first up. We'll have Aaron Naveen and Ireland's call, followed by Advance Australia Fair.
The national anthem of Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain upstanding as we play Ireland's Call.
Yeah, rousing reception for Ireland's call, and there's bound to be some nerves among the home team, pressure to perform. Australia in a deep huddle on the right hand side of the pitch. Mel Robinson is beside me, former New Zealand international. Your thoughts on the team selected, Mel?
Well, Ireland, they've got some experienced, fabulous, multi-talented athletes in that pack. Lindsay Peat, for instance, played basketball for her country. As you said, surprise over Paula Fitzpatrick. And also, let's not forget, Ashley Baxter's a winger playing 7, but that positional switch means more room for other 7 stars in the backs. And keep an eye on Ali Miller. We know how good she is at 7. She'll do the same here today. And Hannah Terrell, what a treat to watch too. And the thing about Australia, it's that they are an unknown, and that poses somewhat of an issue because their coach has made so many changes since their test in June, so analysis is near impossible. In fact, their most well-known forward, Shannon Perry, hasn't played 15 since 2014. Another Olympic gold medalist in Shani Williams will be crucial in organising that backline, and expect Mahalia Murphy, another full-time Sevens athlete, to be lethal when she has been given the opportunity.
1 minute, girls. 1 minute.
So, referee for this one, Tim Baker from Hong Kong. His assistants are Sarah Cox from England and Rose LaBreche from Canada. Television match official David Grassoff from England. It is our Pool C opener here this evening in sunny Dublin City at the UCD Bowl. It's been sold out, this fixture on this day, for quite some time. as Nora Stapleton, the pressure on her, because don't forget Niamh Briggs was Ireland's first choice goal kicker before she picked up the injury, so Stapleton will have to take charge of that responsibility. The mascot for Australia ready to go, and it will be Ireland to get us underway, kicking off from right to left. The gold for Australia. We mentioned Sharni Williams, we mentioned Shannon Parry, and so much experience in those guys, but Lindsay Peake and her team know exactly what is expected of them here, and that is qualification for the semi-finals. Nothing else will suffice on a home tournament, and it'll be interesting to see how Heather O'Brien gets back after returning from injury. Ashley Baxter, as Mel has said, a winger during the World Cup in 2014, is playing in blindside.
10 seconds.
And we're almost set to go here.
10 seconds.
Well, Australia since 2014 have played 5 test matches and lost all 5. 3 of those were against New Zealand though, and all of them against top sides, so maybe not a fair reflection of their ability, as Stapleton, to a huge roar, gets Ireland underway, and the first touch for the captain Shannon Parry in the scrum cap for Australia, and first possession to the visitors to Dublin, taken up by Patu, and a roll from her. Little shipped on from Cheyenne Campbell, the hooker for Australia, and this is a good flowing attack early on from Australia to bring play just over that 10-metre line. Little step from Trilleen Pomari, and she takes the tackle there for Baker, and up the middle goes Molly Gray. Brilliant to see her back fit after an horrific injury back in February. Pomari again looking to release some of the outside backs now. A line taken up the middle by Kayla Salvo, and then advantage being played as the ball goes into touch.
No advantage.
Oh, how about that, Australia? What a way to start. From the moment when Parry took the kickoff accurately, she called it, nailed it, and then the continuity play. They looked after their ruck. But this year, probably that ball should have been given to Murphy. She was hitting a hole, she changed the angle.
Coxie, you got these binding, please?
But promising stuff from the underdogs, Australia.
Shoulders out.
So Val, you could see what she was trying to do, run that tight line, but just miscommunication between the two. And the first scrum in the game will go to Ireland. Set piece. Australia really struggled at scrum and line out over the summer, so it'll be interesting to see how they deal with the Irish challenge here. Lindsay Peake, Cleena Maloney and Isla Sheehan, experienced front row players. Maybe Ireland will feel they have an edge there. They try to go forward. It's a bit messy, and we'll reset with an Irish pudding.
Well, one thing you've got to say about Australia, they might have only played 5 test matches since the last Rugby World Cup, but they've played New Zealand 3 times, England once, and Canada, and that's the top teams in the world. And what we noticed from the June series leading up into this World Cup is a massive improvement in what they put out onto the field. They've got more accurate, and that there, the scrum, they held their own just then.
Crouch!
You get a chance to have another look at this now. Such an important feature of the 15s game. Ireland just trying to recycle to the back, controlled by O'Brien, and Ali Miller is all the way off her wing. The little dummy by Alison Miller straight up the throat, and the tackle goes in from Pomari. And where they go, Murphy with the pass to Cheryl. It went forward though, and advantage being played to Australia. Decent hit, and the first Irish attack comes to nothing.
No advantage, just gone forward.
Well, you could argue that was a try saver from Murphy, that big hit. And great work though from Ireland, because they identified that there was space out there, and she was by herself, the right ringer.
Good standard for a scrum. Good standard, okay?
Not good, thanks to that tackle.
Emer Considine looking to get her first touch. I'm sure every time she does get the ball over in that far wing, she'll have the crowd roaring her on as Shannon Parry gets ready to lock down on the open side flank. 7's captain, now 15's captain. She is a leader. And the battle between herself and Claire Malloy is worth the entrance fee alone. 7 on 7, and the two captains going head to head again. Ireland tried to shove through, but it's Australia who get the penalty. It goes down in the front row,
and you've gone down.
And the referee right on the spot.
Yep, they'll be kicking themselves there, Ireland, because they do have a dominant scrum. They don't need to go in on the angle. Just stick to their processes, what they always do, and they should be able to dominate over this Australian scrum as the game progresses.
Australia try and go up the line, get played just over that 10-metre line, and they will have their own put into the line out.
Go, come over.
See Mahalia Murphy coming off her wing and standing in behind Trelene Pomari. Looks like a pre-rehearsed move if they can get good ball off the top to try and work with here. Parry goes up. Ireland try and put pressure on. And Malloy's in over that ball. They can't shift her at the moment, but they went forward
off the top. The line out wasn't over, so we're out
from
15.
an Irish hand, so it'll be a scrum to Australia.
Shannon Parry involved in everything.
Forward off the top. Go. You must go straight for me, okay? If you want to be dominant, go straight, not down.
Set pieces definitely where Australia want to set the platform.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Hold it, ready, volley!
Baker feeds.
Stay half.
Decent strike as well from Campbell. All the way back to her scrum half. Pomari looking to release Sharni Williams. The pass wasn't good, and Jenny Murphy's after this one, looking to hunt down, prevent Australia getting the pass away. Decent tackle goes in, and they're at the Masters. But Shannon Parry is there, and Australia will recycle. Pomari to act as scrum half with 3 runners outside her. Big crash up the middle from Grace Hamilton. Back for a scrum half, and Baker in behind to Campbell. Samoa hits the deck. Pomari, little step from the out half. Nice feet as well to break the first tackle. And there for Baker once more. This is the handoff attempt from Gray. Ireland just having to defend now and keep their discipline as they try and go wide. Campbell with the pass. Ireland struggling at the moment to contain Australia. Parry. In goes Fitzpatrick to try and rob it. Still there, Sharni Williams. Williams trying to open up the legs and go through the gap. Sharni Williams tackled by Alison Miller. Malloy in on top of it, looked like it went forward from her. Play on, says the referee. Baker with the pass to Helisha Samoa. Options both sides for
available.
The Aussie scrum half. Baker. Again, nice crash ball from Parry. Takes a good line. Gets over the gain line. Baker once more. And the wrap round here. This is better from Australia, and Ireland having to defend.
She said no effect. No.
Stakes are so high, even in this opening game and the structure of the tournament. Got to start with a win to give yourself a chance of progressing. Taken this time by Millie Boyle, and the big second row hits the ground. Pomari, little crossfield kick, chases on from Trehearn. Tyrrell is back there, looks for the safety of touch. I tell you what, Mel, decent Australia attack.
I'm loving that they've come here and they're putting a good show on so far, Australia. You know, everybody counted them out, but let's not forget they have beaten Ireland twice at 2 previous Rugby World Cups. For some reason, they perform well here. And my argument would be because they're a nation that watches rugby league, Super Rugby, and Aussie rules as well, and so naturally they're quite instinctive.
Ball off the top, Baker. Pomari. Dunwich to her right, gives it left where Molly Gray carries it into contact.
Just lost it, you hit a fair crack.
Still there for Australia. Back inside to Parry. And advantage being played to Ireland for a knock
you've
on.
lost control of it into your own player.
So Ireland will get the scrum. They survive the Australian onslaught.
Yeah, I think the Irish defence has been very good so far. You could argue that they should push up a little bit faster with the line speed, but they've been really disciplined, just keeping in that one line. So Australia finding it very difficult to try and break tackles.
Australia have come to play though, make no mistake about that. And Ireland...
Crouch!
I suppose in terms of the Six Nations, looking back, Ireland were quite structured in how they approached each game. They don't have a huge amount of line breakers in their team, but that's the way they play. They rely on their forward power and doing the basics right. Australia, you feel, have that X factor though.
Yeah, a lot of spice in that Australian back line. Check that out. Oh, nearly won it.
Nearly won against the heads, and Ireland a little bit lucky to get away with it. Heather O'Brien picks off the base of the scrum and makes about 2 metres in contact.
Play on, Coxie.
Back with Muldoon. Box kick from the scrum half. She's outside of 22. She can't go straight into touch, and that was a mistake and a bad one because it's given a platform to Australia right outside the 22-metre line.
Fascinating to see what Australia do here. They had Parry go up and take that line-out ball last time.
Time off.
Didn't quite work for them. I'm liking Paul Mare, the first 5 on debut for Australia. I think her skill set's very high. She's taking the ball up to the line. She puts it out in front of her, and she'll be a threat at some point if she does try and attack instead of passing it out.
Maz Riley, the target for Ireland, didn't quite go into her hands, but it's come back on the Irish side, and Australia get the scrum. Well, what looked like it could be a turnover ball from the line out, Ireland cough it up, and Australia will get the put into the scrum.
Yeah, that was fantastic work by Patu. It was not a great line-out throw, but there's Patu coming through, nabbing it, and then her physical strength meant that she was able to put it on her side of the ruck, and she had enough support there too.
She clearly ripped it.
Ireland ball! Ireland ball!
Crouch! Bind! Sit! Hold the weight, Ireland.
Big show from Ireland in the front row. Massive show from the Irish front row. That's the set piece that we talked about, and that has got the home fans cheering, Mel. It was a massive scrum.
Nothing better for a pat when they push another team back off a scrum. And just a bit of panic there from Australia. Number 8 there, Hamilton, probably released herself from that scrum a little bit too early, and it meant that they were pushing 7 against 8.
Well, a mistake again from Ireland as Stapleton doesn't find touch, and that's a let-off and a chance to launch the counter-attack for Australia here. We mentioned the kicking skills of Niamh Briggs and how much they might be missed. Stapleton has got to do better as Tyrrell tries to go through the gap, but none there.
Run! Hands off! Go!
Halia Murphy closing it.
No, she's fine. No,
before she could even set her feet.
Go, take a step.
And Savao as well to make life difficult for Ireland. Muldoon, little pop ball to Eilish Egan. Ireland trying to carry and relieve some pressure away from their 22-metre line. Muldoon got away from the first tackle.
Penalty advantage.
Fitzpatrick. Ireland have penalty advantage now. Stapleton, flat pass to Naubu to take it almost at a standing start, and did well to recycle. Stapleton has 2 outside, and now a chance here for Baxter. He's got 1 outside. Malloy thumped in the tackle. Really good hit from Marsters. And then a chance for Australia to pick, but the penalty against them. Really good tackle by the right wing for Australia, and Ireland with the penalty.
Wasn't it just? She absolutely flattened her. And it was Cheyenne Campbell who thought that all her Christmases had come at once with the ball popping out of the back of that breakdown, but referee said it wasn't out. Let's have another look. Here it comes. Perfect position, nice and low, hitting with the shoulders, gripping with the arms. I wish my under 9 and 10 boys could tackle like that.
Well, you're just not teaching them right, Mel. All about technique. As Niamh Briggs looks on, heartbreak for her a couple of weeks ago when she was ruled out of the tournament. Cleena Maloney, full line out, full compliment for Ireland. Maz Riley, that's why she's so effective in a set piece, rising highest. And Ireland set them all, bit of a gap on the right hand side, and that's where they go. Lindsay Peake gets the body position low, so too Eilish Egan, still there. Muldoon to Stapleton, ball behind to Naubu. It's a crash of 12 on 12, and Sharni Williams did well. Baxter.
Leave her head.
Stapleton. Pete. High tackle against Australia. Another Irish penalty.
Look, I tell you what, there is a massive hole in defence, in the Australian defence, around that number 10 position, because the forwards are really trying to take on the Irish forwards, and they're leaving a big gap on her inside. If the Irish team can identify that and the number 10 can get a runner on her inside, they're going to make some holes.
Green, sit up on the line for me.
That was the high tackle on Lindsay Peake. She's such a strong ball carrier. It takes a lot to bring her down, but the referee deemed that one illegal. And this is a decent attacking platform for Ireland. Line out on the 22-metre line. And again, you would imagine that Mary-Louise Riley will be the target here. She's got Heather O'Brien in front to lift. Paula Fitzpatrick, who can also jump on the line and is standing right behind her. It's O'Brien who goes up.
More.
And Ireland have dropped it. Went backwards, says the referee. Pumping the legs. Maloney did well. Ali Miller standing just inside Stapleton as Ireland push forward in the pack, and this is where the battle is being won at the moment, up front for Ireland.
Ball's available. Back foot, go. That's fine.
Pick and go. Muldoon asking for instructions. Ireland happy and content to keep it in the pack. Maloney with another carry. Great work from the hooker. Options both sides now as Ireland pull forward. Maloney in the thick of things. The captain almost got away from the tackle. There for Muldoon. Stapleton comes left. She's got two outsider. Ali Miller trying to control her with her knee. Won't tank her out half of the pass. And that was an opportunity that went begging.
Come off the knee and touch.
They do some things very well at the moment, Ireland. The pick and go was really working for them. They ate the metres up, but then their execution where it matters is just a little out of kilter, isn't it? And their ruck ball is quite slow compared to the Australians as well. Here it is there, that pass. Might have been better to go to hands and get your centre there, Murphy, just a drawn pass.
Well, what about Claire Malloy, captain, 29 years of age, plays her club rugby with Bristol. She's a doctor, and I think she's taking a belt on the nose there. I'm sure she knows exactly what's wrong with her.
Yeah, self-diagnosis.
Exactly. So just something to stem the bleeding, and I think should be okay to continue.
I love the story of her, that the Cardiff airport staff recognise her because she'd turn up in her scrubs on her way back to Ireland to train every weekend with this lot. Just fantastic. Yeah, there's no doubting her commitment, Claire Malloy, to the Irish cause, and her 54th international cap today, her 3rd World Cup. Well, a physical game. Here's some of the hits. Jenny Murphy to start things off. Yeah, very physical indeed. Both teams getting into it big time. Look at that. A lovely read by Williams.
Well, Mary-Louise Riley took the line out, but she got turned upside down and did well to hang on to that ball, because it looked like there was a hit in the air, maybe accidental, but she did hang on, and Ireland again through their pack, trying to find ground in behind the Australian defence. Malloy, none the worse from the knock to the nose. Malloy over the gain line and still going, wasn't held. Muldoon, crash up the middle is Maloney.
Tackle, release.
Tackler told to let go. Still there for the Irish scrum half. Stapleton has 3 outside. Stapleton fancies a half cut, and she's dragged to the ground. And now it's Lindsay Peat.
That's a good
You want to act as scrum half. Ireland lose it forward. Knock on. Australia survive.
It's just a little bit predictable, the Irish attack at this point. The one-off runners, the pick and goes. It might be time just to spread that ball out wide and give those backs an opportunity.
Can we just check what happened in the air, please?
Well, this is what
Tim, we're just going to show you the yellow player going across the line out.
Mary-Louise Riley took the line out and she was brought down on her head. I just want to see and check if there was foul play here. At first sight it looked accidental, but let's have a look at it here and get a better angle now.
Look at yellow 3.
No, I think her lifters dropped her. That would be my first.
Do you want to see that again, Tim?
Yes, please. Someone was just in my ear talking.
At that point.
Okay. Look at the action
Unless
of yellow
number
3
3 there from Australia takes out her lifter, then she might get penalised. Let's have a look.
Alicia, she just turns her back.
No.
I don't. It did look like she was dropped, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in that.
Tim.
Let's have a look. There's the lifters. She's up in the air, beautifully taken. Yeah, they drop her. They absolutely drop her.
And one more angle, Tim.
Just see if there's contact here on the leg. I mean, it does look like it's kind of 6 to 1, half a dozen in the other. There is a bit of contact. Was there any intent? Her back was turned.
What I'm saying is...
That's all the angles, Tim. That's all the angles.
What I'm saying is green's gone up to the line out. Yellow hasn't gone up, and the Irish girls fallen to the ground. I feel that her own support players
well, there you go, you called it.
Bring her down to ground. So I'm happy with
called
my
it because it's happened to me before.
Okay,
so that explains a lot of things.
Yeah, landed on my head.
Too many times. So you called it, Mel. I mean, the lifters just didn't offer the right support, and that's what happens.
Right here, that's it.
Yeah, a bit of a crime.
It's not fit. We were just checking foul play that line out.
Should have a bit of a word to her lifters there. Marie-Louise Riley. is a crucial scrum for Australia because the last couple they've struggled.
Ireland got a penalty from the last scrum. Baker looking to feed quickly and get this one away. Pomare standing in the pocket. That one didn't go in the gate at all, so we'll have to refeed and reset.
We had a bit of an accident before the ball came in. Reset the scrum.
Someone's back was harder than she anticipated. Katrina Barker, she's another player that's played in the centres and at halfback these days.
Millie Boyle in the Australian second row has gone off for a HIA, so Rebecca Clough has come in her place.
Sit!
Until if or when she is cleared to continue. The feed from Baker needs to be at the back quickly. That's a really good scrum. And Grace Hamilton carries down the blind side.
Hands off!
Australia kind of trying to win quick ball and get it back to Pomare and get this one away from their own 22.
Get them behind. Green, take a step.
Another carry and another effort asked. Patu takes 2 to drop her down. Baker back to Pomare. The pressure from Fitzpatrick. She was picked in the second row. She's a number 8 by trade, Mel. She was picked for her speed and her ability to get around the park, and there was an example of it there.
Yeah, she used to be a number 10, didn't she, and then moved into the forwards.
True.
Fantastic. And you know, all that hard work done by the forwards from Australia ruined by an off kick, and of course Joe Schmidt there.
Joe Schmidt and Simon Easterby looking on, giving their support. Brilliant to see. And this an important line out. Riley goes up. It's a clean take this time, and Ireland set them all. Body positions low, good technique, and onwards they go. They've spotted a soft gap in the Australian defence. Can they get towards that line? This is where they're strong. Egan puts her hands on the ball, fancies a pick and go herself. It's the tight head for Ireland, Eilish Egan. She's tackled short of the line. Muldoon wants another effort from the pack. Maloney presents it well. O'Brien this time picks and goes. Baxter in to try and clean up possession. Ireland still going forward. They should be at the line. Can they get it down? Brilliant defence from Australia. Muldoon has to dig one out now. Stapleton, crash ball from Murphy. Thumped in the tackle. She scored from a similar position against Scotland in the Six Nations. No joy there. Ali Miller on the outside is Egan. Egan switches tack and comes back to have a go herself. There was numbers outside. Muldoon once more gets her hands on the ball. Larissa Muldoon for Ireland scores the first try of the game.
And they go crazy, and well deserved too. Persistence, patience, it is all there for Ireland. Their forwards set that up and then they put it out in the backs. It wasn't pretty at times. You know, a defensive lapse too from Australia. See, Murphy being told to go to the left by the Australian halfback Barker, and that was a mistake. She needed to stay there because Ireland had been attacking down that close channel a lot of the time. So great work though. That's what you want your halfbacks to do.
It's taken 20 minutes and we have the first score of the game. A tale of two halves within that 20. Australia dominating for the first 10. Ireland roaring back into it. But they have the try to show for their efforts, and with the conversion to come from underneath the post, this should be a formality for Nora Stapleton. No problem with the strike. Ireland off to a flyer. They lead Australia by 7 points to 0.
And just here, lovely body position, easy pick up and going over her opposite number 9. Every halfback loves that.
And how they enjoyed it as well. Well,
don't
young
drop
and old.
the baby.
Everybody enjoying that one from an Irish point of view. Australia, what have they got in response halfway through this first half? As Trilleen Pomare gets us back underway. Ashley Baxter with the handoff, and then Australia 2 and 6. Campbell and Gray run into each other, trying to make the tackle. Stapleton with the flat pass to Egan. She sucks in a few defenders, back to Stapleton, and then Naupu to Murphy. Better play from Ireland. Murphy with the pass on the outside. Considine, who went forward. It did go forward. Referee perfectly placed to see that one.
Oh,
gone forward.
Bit of space on that
Good
right-hand edge we've seen a couple of times already. Maybe the inexperience on defence of Murphy as well. She needed to trust her inside there and stay on the winger, but great enterprising play from Ireland, even though the execution at the end wasn't quite on the money.
Australia with the scrum then. Last one went perfectly according to plan from their own 5-metre line.
Bind. Sit. Steady, bring. Take your 9.
Decent strike. Ball for Baker. Palmati. Sharni Williams. Mahalia Murphy all the way off her wing. Murphy gets the offload away. Lovely pass. Trey Hearn. Little dummy again by the winger. Marsters trying to get away from Jenny Murphy. And now Upu just told to stay out of there. Palmari at scrum half. Back to Baker. A reversal of roles for 9 and 10. And the Australian half-back partnership. An advantage against Ireland and for Australia for a penalty. Little dummy from Helisha Samoa. Accidental offside, we got back for the penalty. This is kickable.
Australia look dangerous when they bring in a player like Murphy. She got the offload away. And we saw a little bit of speed there from Narita Masters as well. It was Ireland's first penalty they conceded in this match, so their discipline's been very good.
Gold, you
very flat, wasn't she, Hamilton, when she received that ball? She didn't really run onto it. They really needed to be a little bit more disciplined there, Ireland.
Move up the line, girls. No, they're all right there. Through there. Cut it.
Clean and Maloney to throw.
I got channel. We know where it's going, girls.
Line out bang on that 22-metre line. Go towards the back. Riley gets up to try and disrupt, but it's taken by Helisha Samoa. And then Ireland get a hand on it, but it looked from an offside position from here. Referee happy to play on as Maloney takes a tackle, and then Pete comes in to make a hit on Grace Hamilton.
I can't get.
Bit of a mess, that one.
Yeah, I don't think he saw it. I think O'Brien was offside because a maul had been formed.
Off the shoulder, line up.
Just before this.
Well, I can tell you that Millie Boyle has passed the HIA, so she will come back on in place of Rebecca Clough and rejoin the fray as Maloney prepares to throw. Irish back standing pretty flat out there. Ball was meant for Heather O'Brien, but she couldn't hold it. Irish forwards again been asked to pick and go. Lindsay Peat from Railway Union in South County Dublin.
Well done.
Fitzpatrick from St Mary's, also a Dublin club. Muldoon to Baxter. Straight into contact. Cheyenne Campbell puts her on the ground.
Well done. It's taken back.
Back to Stapleton. Miller. Ireland trying to run from well inside their own 22, and Ali Miller, good strength in the contact there to get through the first challenge. Muldoon once more. Maloney. Stapleton. Long floating pass on the outside to Peace. Tackled and now looked high. Referee's playing advantage. Malloy. Stapleton.
Keep the mark.
Egan. Still there for Ireland.
Let's go forward. Let's
go back for the penalty.
High tackle. High tackle.
The style of defence that Australia are putting out there is extremely physical. It means on the odd occasion, sometimes those tackles just go a little high.
Go here.
Ireland not making too many metres when they've got the ball in hand, and that's because they're standing quite deep. If you have a look at where Stapleton stands, it's well behind the last advantage line, so it makes it harder on her team to make those metres.
And it has been a problem area as well in the Six Nations. Ireland only just about getting past Scotland, and in truth they would have been expected to win comfortably, but Stapleton does stand very, very deep. Here was the high tackle, and it was against Pomari, who's making her first appearance for Australia. Australia number 10. Clean Maloney goes to the back. Fitzpatrick off the top. Muldoon, that's better from Ireland. Stapleton picks it up on the bounce and then takes it up herself. Muldoon once more has Jenny Murphy to aim for. Tackled by Sharni Williams. And still there for Ireland, Maloney.
Playing advantage.
Lost it, and lost it forward. Advantage to be played to Australia. Might fancy a go down that blind side where they seem to be queuing up. Taken up by Chloe Butler. Baker looking for runners. One of them is Grace Hamilton.
Tackle!
Still there for Australia. Liz Patu.
7, you've lost it.
Malloy told to leave it. Doesn't want to give away a penalty again. Pomari, nice ball behind. Sharni Williams trying to exploit the gap. Williams, and the pass on the outside is good. Marsters trying to get past Naupu. Really good tackle by Selly Naupu. And Ireland and Alison Miller rip it. It's gone into touch and it also went forward. It's the question of which happened first. Line out.
Not yet. Playing on.
Quickly taken. Australia get on with it. It's with Trey Hearn. Floating past the outside. Mahalia Murphy's got loads of pace. The 7th flyer. Mahalia Murphy! Australia strike! Brilliant try by the 7th flyer, and what a response after conceding that try.
It was absolutely incredible because they took the quick line out. It was unorthodox. Speeding the game up like that is not, I guess, how Six Nations rugby happens very often, but it was Shannon Parry, the Sevens captain, who threw it in quickly, and it was a genius move and a brilliant pass there from the fullback Trey Hearn. And I said this one here was going to be lethal when she did get the ball in space. How about that?
It's a fascinating clash, isn't it? I mean, the structure that Ireland play against the X factor that this player, Mahalia Murphy, and her fellow backs have. They just have that pace to exploit Ireland.
Yeah, and they won't pull out the same kind of moves, that phase play that you might see up in the Northern Hemisphere. They will try different attack methods because they are struggling at set piece, so they've got to put something else out there to try and compete with Ireland.
So conversion attempt to level things up then from Samantha Traherne. Sun seems to be a little bit into her face, but it's not the most difficult of kicks, just a bit of an angle to negotiate here. That's what faces her.
Well, their regular kicker, Ashley Hewson's actually on the bench.
Oh, look at that. The ball fell off the tee just as she went to strike. Oh, that's unlucky, really. I think she was appealing to the referee. Can I not take that one again? Unfortunately, that's it.
One for the highlights reel, not.
Well, Mahalia Murphy can put that try in her highlights reel because it was a brilliant show of pace from the winger, and the gap now just 2 points with half an hour played in UCD's Belfield Bowl. It's been an entertaining game so far.
I'm just glad that it's a contest, a close one. It's what we were looking for. Stapleton restarts, and again doesn't get a lot of height and not an opportunity for her supporting runners to take advantage of it, as Kayla Sovao gets over the gain line, and then Ireland put in a tackle, force a knock on, and it should be a scrum.
Ball off gold, in green.
It is.
Grace Hamilton hit the line really well there, but just a little bit over eager. Probably looked up at the defensive line. Didn't look after the ball first and foremost.
Good standard so far.
Good intent though.
So Ireland with the scrum in a decent position. Stapleton talking to Naupu and Murphy, and even Considine has come off her wing as well. She's another player with Sevens experience. Wouldn't be a regular Sevens squad member on the HSBC Senior Series, but she plays her rugby with UL Bohemians down in Limerick. Good show from Australia this time, forcing Ireland back. Have they managed to get their hands on the ball? They have, you know. That's a really good set-piece effort from Australia, and they've turned the tide on Ireland. Crash up the middle. Alicia Samoa. Another pick and go. This time Liz Patu, so tight head and loose head carrying for Australia to the 10-metre line. Baker, Pomare, Sharni Williams. The pass was a good one to Samantha Traherne, and then an equally good tackle by Alison Miller, who does not shy away from those. Pomare to Baker. Handoff from Molly Gray.
Tackle release.
Trying to go to ground. Ireland told to leave her.
their own player slowing it down.
Slow coming back. And again, the offload straight up the middle. Goes Cheyenne Campbell, the hooker's away. Campbell wins supports. Tackle goes in from Hannah Tyrrell. Had to be made. And away they go again. Big hits by Jenny Murphy. Welcome to the game. Thumping tackle by Ireland's outside centre.
No!
Baker once more. Samoa with the pass. This is Butler recycling the ball. Off they go again. Gray into contact. Ireland having to defend now. Any missed tackles, and Australia have that pace to exploit it. Ball back inside from Williams to Salvao, and a knock-on advantage is now to Ireland. Now Upu straight into a brick wall. The hits keep coming.
Stapleton over for knock-on.
Miller, Alison Miller cutting in off her wing. Chopped down, and a good tackle by Naretta Masters.
Release! You're under penalty advantage.
Advantage Australia for a penalty taken up by Butler. Baker. Campbell, who made that original break 2 minutes ago to start off the Australia attack. Any space on that side? No. Charlie Williams will take the penalty, we go all the way back forth.
Yeah, good decision there, Williams, but I tell you what, this is a blockbuster. It's like another edition of Fast and Furious, with not only the big hits that have been put out, but also the speed of those rucks from Australia. They are shifting this Irish defence all over the park, and you can see they're feeling it. Aussie players on the ground. Yeah. And then you got to ask the question, who's got the conditioning out of these two teams? I think Ireland would back their fitness by the end of 80 minutes.
Be interesting to see what happens as the game goes on. That was the break from Campbell to set off a really good attack, but Campbell looking for support. The tackle had to be made from Hannah Tyrrell.
What we said in the changing room.
That just makes me happy seeing that stuff. I think Australia's lines, how they're hitting the short ball, that's giving them a big advantage, because they start out slightly wide and then they change their angle for the pop pass, and it's working very well for them.
Bit of attention for Sharni Williams then. Just looks like a strap around the boots, and she doesn't look to be in any discomfort at all as we approach 6.5 minutes left to play. Well, we know what she does in the sevens game, and I suppose when you look at the USA team today, they had 7 sevens players in their starting 15. New Zealand had the likes of Portia Woodman in there as well, and the Canadians have even brought a few back. There might be a question mark about why Australia don't utilise their sevens players in the 15s game, but
yeah, there's a lot more investment in the sevens games over there, and that's, I guess, why they won the gold medal. I guess the key point about Williams and Parry is that they both started in the 15s game, so it's very easy for them to come back and adjust to what they have to put out in the paddock.
Campbell to throw, looks for Butler, and again it's Riley who gets up highest, steals ball, and Cleena Maloney recovers to set it up. Peaks dumped backwards by Parry. Brilliant tackle by the Australia captain. Stapleton calling for this one.
It's taken back.
They're going to run it again from inside their 22. Now Upu. Chopped down at the knees.
Taken back, Rose.
Stapleton again. Little chink over the top. It's meant for Considine. She couldn't quite hold on it. And it's gone forward.
Great variation on attack though, wasn't it? It was a pretty good kick.
Options of a scrum or a line out. Scrum? Scrum's called.
And it will be scrum ball for Australia.
Not
once
on
again,
touch,
just
selected to go this
standing really deep there, but that was lovely, wasn't it? In fact, I think Constantine took her eye off the ball, and that's why she dropped it.
I think she was watching the gold jersey coming in to open her up if she did manage to catch it.
Absolutely.
And said, I'll just have a look and see. And then the ball goes forward. 5 minutes to play in the first half, an entertaining one so far. The crowd plenty to shout about. Ireland with first blood in the try from Larissa Muldoon, and then Mahalia Murphy opening up the Irish defence to score and bring the gap to 2. Pomari to Shawnee Williams. Little switch in the centre was a good one, and Sovao takes the tackle. There for Baker once more. Butler again tries the offload and the swing and the dummy from Australia to keep it alive. Parry. Tackle by Malloy. 7 on 7 again. Pick and go this time from Samoa. And she's just short of that 22-metre line. Campbell in to try and dig it out. Ireland told to leave it, and they do a good job of slowing it down. This is Grace Hamilton. Good carry by the number 8. Again, Malloy back on her feet. She was the tackler. Had to release, and she did so. Campbell once more into Riley. Riley puts her down. Options all on this left-hand side now. Pomari, little step from her. Pomari still going, has to be stopped. Good little half break. Good retention as well. Millie Boyle can't quite get her body position, and Riley needs to get out of there. Australia still have it, and they go to the right-hand side this time. Patu wrestling with Claire Malloy for the ball. Ireland told to leave it. Good retention by Australia. Can they put more points on the board? Samoa keeping her feet well. Support from Gray. She's held up though. Heather O'Brien and Riley with their hands on that ball. Turnover ball surely for Ireland. They've got several pairs of hands on it. And referee's whistle has gone. It's really good defensive work.
Yeah, that was excellent because they were under all kinds of pressure, Ireland. But the body position there of the ball carrier just a little bit too high. Let's have a look. The upper body strength. 2 Irish defenders there. Riley can claim it, and probably Pete as well. And of course, talking to the referee, just alluding him to the fact that they had the dominance. Excellent.
Well, how important will that be? Australia going through the phases there, finding gaps in the Irish defence, but just when they needed Alicia Samoa to hit the ground and recycle, she got held up. And a chance for Ireland to clear. Muldoon with the feed, pressure again. It's gone around. O'Brien picks it off the back. Good tackle by the Australian scrum half. Baker watched her every step of the way from the base of the scrum. Still there. Eilish Egan into contact. Less than 2 minutes to go.
Same as
the penalty goes to Ireland. Not rolling away in the tackle. Chance to clear.
I'd say that Australia would be feeling just a little bit frustrated because there were a couple of times in their own rucks where the Irish players were over the ball. Referee said the ball was available, but it seemed like a very similar situation there.
Don't question every decision, okay? I'll switch off.
He's telling Shannon Parry off from questioning him.
Well, that's what a good captain does, doesn't it? Gets in the referee's ear. As long as you don't go overboard and turn them against the team. Mary-Louise Riley was just struggling with her knee there.
Oh, she's been huge so far for them, hasn't she?
Right, let's have a look at these tries then, Mel. The tail of the tape so far.
Yeah, very different style of tries, really. And that one was just individual effort. Muldoon identifying what was in front of her and going for it. And this one here, power, pace, just wonderful. And that was from that quick throw-in from the line-out. One was a try from flair and opportunity. The other was a lot of hard work by their pack and hole 15 from Ireland.
So Ireland and Maloney with the line out inside the last minute of the first half here. This one, you feel, going to go right down to the wire. Little to separate these two teams. Australia dominating possession. They've got 56% of it so far for the first half. But it's Ireland who lead by 2. And this maul, a very effective weapon by the home side. All about getting the win here. Doesn't matter how you do it. Win ugly, win at all costs to keep the semi-final hopes alive. Because France still to come in this pool, don't forget. It could be a very close table at the end of the 3 matches.
You're under penalty advantage.
Ireland penalty advantage. Baxter carries. Muldoon goes to the left-hand side. Maloney, not the quickest, tries the hand off. The tackle goes in. We go back for the penalty. And Liz Patu stopping the Irish hooker in her tracks, and looked like she took a bit of a thump on the ground as she went to land there.
I wouldn't be.
Was it high?
It was, and I wouldn't be surprised if the TMO is looking at that right now. It was just her arm over the shoulder, and you know, Maloney felt quite difficult.
Yeah, the old seatbelt tackle seemed to have given. We've gone to 40. Nora Stapleton says that's enough. We need the sanctity of the dressing room. The Irish fans on their feet to applaud off the home team. Australia, though, I tell you what, they're right in this game. They've played some really good rugby, and none more so than the try from Mahalia Murphy, who leaves the pitch and taps on the shoulders all round. Half-time here at the Belfield Bowl in UCD. Ireland lead, but only just by 7 points to 5. We have the second half coming right up. We have a game to decide here, and Mel Robinson, it's a tough one to call this.
Well, Ireland might be ahead, but it's Australia who've looked far more dangerous. The difference, they live on the advantage line, and evidence of that's shown by the fact they've had the same number of carries as Ireland, but have made 94 metres.
10 seconds.
Missed tackles as well from Ireland in the first half, 12 versus just 2 for Australia. You cannot, at this level, keep making mistakes like that in defence and expect to hold the team with the attacking quality of Australia out, as Katrina Baker gets us back underway, and the first touch for Ashley Baxter, who did a lot of the hard work and unseen work for Ireland in that first half. A blindside flanker, Stapleton to Lindsay Peat, and she carries towards that 22-metre line. Muldoon try score to Stapleton, shifting to the left hand side. Heather O'Brien back in to Baxter once more. Pete runs into Hilisha Samoa. Here from Muldoon. Stapleton. Now Upu. Switching tack. Stepping off her right foot. Trying to create some space. Fitzpatrick. Here's Malloy, the captain. Tackled and tackled well by Kayla Sauvau. Muldoon. Egan. A lot of effort for Ireland, and still not outside of their own 22, so Muldoon opts for the box kick and finds touch over that 10-metre line. Decent kick.
Well, that was their best option. I mean, there was about 8 phases there, and they probably made 1 metre from where they took it from the kickoff. And Australia's struggled a little at the lineouts. They've lost 3, so Ireland should just go to the sideline all day and put pressure on their lineout.
Cheyenne Campbell to throw. Goes to the back. Was that one straight? Referee said it was, and Parry was smashed on the tackle by Claire Malloy as she went to give the pass away, and then another big hit goes in the centre. Advantage to Ireland for the knock on.
Yeah, Mahalia Murphy, just a little bit of an inexperience there. She hasn't played a lot of 7s at all, 15, sorry. Right here, she needed to take that ball, and she tried to pass it to somebody in a worse position than her. Just needed to straighten up and take it into contact.
There was the tackle, 7-on-7 again. It's been a brilliant battle all evening long here in UCD between the two open sides.
Shoulders out. Crouch. Bind. Sit. Thanks, man.
Muldoon to feed. Tyrrell standing to the right with Consoline. What a shove from Australia, and really Heather O'Brien did the right thing to getting that out there. Stapleton puts the ball in behind. Across comes Trey Hearn. Needs to deal with this one. Trey Hearn under pressure. She's dropped that, has she? Referee has a look and says no, play on. Australia storming back, and it looked like Pomadi took a hit as well, and she's down on the ground.
There's a collision. It's going to be goal ball.
Herself and Fitzpatrick, I think, went knee to knee almost.
That was the tactic that Ireland needed to lay out. It was a beautiful kick, wasn't it? Right in that corner. Put Trey Hearn under
No, it's
all kinds of pressure,
their
and
ball,
they
they're in
had a
possession.
brilliant
Just had a
chase
collision
to
with
Ireland.
players.
Okay.
And that just shows you how physical this game is. Nothing like getting kneecapped. Not that I have been in any dark alleyway or anything like that.
Well, don't. In this place of all places, I tell you, not advisable. As Australia and Ireland Fitzpatrick and Pomari get strapped up. Here we see it again, under pressure, the full back. She did well though. I thought she might have dropped it just there, held on.
Yeah, that was amazing work there by Trey Hearn. Oh, was she over the line there?
Collision.
There's Niamh Briggs. Would love to be out there.
So,
but
it's a scrum.
Them's the breaks
in position of the ball.
Top level sport. And instead has to be content.
You got binding of these two players.
Cheering on the squad. She hasn't been right, Niamh Briggs, since UCD last year, which was an Olympic qualifier. Picked up a bad hamstring injury. She just has not fully recovered from that, and you just wonder, with the amount of miles on the clock, will she feel like putting in the rehab necessary to make it back? I'm not so sure, but only she can answer that. She's a big loss to this Irish team, though.
Well, yeah, an unfinished business, so it might motivate her to come back for at least another season.
Crouch. Bind. Sit. Stay half.
Ireland trying to put the squeeze on. Up comes Naretta Masters to relieve some of the pressure inside her own half. Murphy has to make this tackle, no support, and a decent run it was too from Hamilton. And again, Ireland and Malloy come through. Murphy says she was okay. Murphy on the inside, but taken in by Kayla Salvao. And there is Pomari at scrum half. Big tackle goes in on Millie Boyle.
She's lost it.
Lock forwards. Baker, crash ball, and off they go. Chance to get the hands free. Rebecca Clough just couldn't find the support. Carried in by Grace Hamilton. Hamilton sets it up. Baker to go out to the backs. Pomari spots a bit of a gap over her. And Hannah Tyrrell coming across, it sits up kindly for her. Now we know she's got loads of pace. Hannah Tyrrell trying to step off her outside foot, but did not get a chance. The tackle from Sharni Williams, perfectly timed.
Put it down.
And look at the contest from Australia at the breakdown. They managed to come away with it as well. Brilliant work by Australia. And they might catch Ireland cold here if they move this ball. Campbell, up the middle they go. Shannon Parry takes the tackle. Backwards it went. Again, Ireland get a boot in there. Campbell again has to deal with it, and it's messy stuff between the legs and pouncing on it. Now Upu and Murphy come together. Where's this ball? Picked up by Trey Hearn. Up the middle goes Halisha Samoa.
Back foot green, no green 8.
Australia have plenty of numbers on the right hand side. Ireland trying to fan across here, but they might fancy a go out wide here. Alison Miller's screaming for cover to come across and fan out because they're very narrow in defence at the moment, Ireland. Parry tries to go through the middle, almost gets away from 3 tackles. Great run by the captain, there for Baker. Australia and Campbell apply the pressure. It's lost forward.
So much good work from Australia when it came to their attack and the way that they hit that ball, those runners. But somehow Ireland, gutsy Ireland, brave, have managed to keep their defensive lines right there.
Just speed it up, please.
They've plugged the holes,
Speed it up.
they've kept their heads, and now they've got the scrum.
Time off.
Jenny Murphy just getting a bit of attention as Tom Tierney and his coaching team. Anthony Eddy to his right hand side as you look at it there, director of Sevens Rugby, and a huge amount of consultation between those two over the last couple of months as they've been preparing for this 15s tournament. And they have to be slightly concerned by what they've seen, Mel. You pointed out to me the missed tackle stat for Ireland. It's gone to 15 now versus just 2 for Australia.
Yeah, the thing is, Ireland have really focused on structure and set piece. Whereas the game that Australia is playing is just moving the ball, passing the ball a lot, and they're a real quick recycle team. I just think Ireland just need to maybe chance their arm a little bit more, have belief in themselves. They've got some incredible sevens athletes out wide. Now give them a little bit of leeway to attack.
Katie Fitzhenry replaces the injured Jenny Murphy. The pressure again from Australia. The scrum has totally turned in terms of domination. Ireland started so well as Fitzpatrick comes away, but it gets the offload. Baxter on her shoulder. On the outside is Maloney. Good burst of pace from the hooker.
Advantage over from
Malloy acts a scrum half. Lindsay Peat drops her shoulder into the tackle.
Take a step.
But is stopped in the tracks, and Ireland recycles. Stapleton in two minds as to what to do there. Fitzhenry came across offside. Well, she's only just on the pitch, perhaps a little bit cold upstairs as well as in the body, and that was the wrong move.
Well, a lack of communication really between Stapleton and Fitzhenry. I think Fitzhenry wanted the ball, she wanted to take it up. She's got the fresh legs, the fresh body, and there was no hole there, so Stapleton probably should have given it off so she could reset herself again.
Traherne finds touch over the 10-metre line, and it will be a line out to Australia. The home crowd making their voices heard in this sellout stadium here at the Bowl in UCD, the hub of student life in South Dublin, and home to the Women's World Cup as Mary-Louise Riley gets up once again to steal an Australian line out. That's the third one they've lost in the 48 minutes that we've played so far. Baxter carries, Parry in over the ball, trying to make a nuisance of herself. She's so hard to shift when she gets her body position in over. Alison Miller off her wing, can't escape the first challenge. She has not had any space to work with Ali Miller at all. We know how quick she is and what a brilliant try scorer she's been, but you can't work your magic if you don't get space to run into. Riley. Stapleton calling for it now. Muldoon a little bit slow to get it out. Here is Stapleton, and there's Malloy. Again, anywhere Claire Malloy goes, Shannon Perry follows, and vice versa. They're like glue on each other, the two sevens, as Naupu tries to burst through. Good run, sending Naupu. Dragging in a couple of defenders with her. Stapleton to Peat, and then Maloney takes a big thumping tackle. Back in the pocket.
Hands are on the ball.
Stapleton, looping pass on the outside. There is room out here. Fitzhenry to Tyrrell. Tyrrell to Miller. Now there's a bit of room for Ali Miller. Gets the hands free. Thought against giving the pass though, and then quick to recycle ball. That's better from Ireland. Still Australia holding their line. Peat trying to go through. Watched and dragged down by Halisha Samoa. Muldoon. Stapleton again. Look at the line break from Australia to try and cut out the outside pass. Here is Considine. Considine takes another tackle. Can't hold on to it. An advantage now to Ireland. Considine, truth be told, hasn't had her best game so far. That's another mistake by the Irish. 50 minutes, half an hour to play.
She's won that fear. Come back for the knock-on.
Go back for the scrum.
More promising play though from Ireland. Their forwards started to do the work very well, and they set it up so that they could unleash out wide on that right hand edge. Look at these hits.
6 blood.
All shoulder.
Number 6
and
blood.
Affected the turnover there. It was Solwell hitting in on Considine.
She looks none the worse for it though, Emer Considine. UL Bohemians, only her second start in this Irish 15s game and her third cap. And she made her debut in the Six Nations off the bench against Scotland. Got a start the following week, and this only her second, so obviously a lot of potential.
Number 3 and number 4 green sub.
Carrying it into contact and losing it forward. There's Paul Verrill. He's been targeting this game, clearly wants to set the stall out in the pool as Ireland make a couple of substitutions. Fitzpatrick is off and Egan is off, and on comes Sophie Spence at 19.
Number 15.
And Ciara O'Connor from Galwegians and Connacht. There she is, going to pack down a tight head prop. Sophie Spence, again, as I said, Mel, maybe a bit of surprise that she wasn't at the original starting 15.
Oh, that's right. She's a former Player of the Year, World Rugby Women's Player of the Year. Used to play in the back row. The key with her is she's a really good ball runner. So I'll expect Ireland to get the ball to her a lot so she can set them up with that go forward. And also huge defensively too.
She's coming back from injury during the Six Nations, lost her place and then struggled to get it back. But she has a chance here with half an hour to play to make a name for herself in this World Cup opener, as Baker lost it forward there. Good decision by the referee and a mistake by the scrum half. Pressure on the Australian scrum.
Just a little bit of lack of experience perhaps of international test rugby where you've got to keep a clear head.
Back of the gold scrum.
It was touched and then probably got kicked forward.
Hunter, go hunting.
That happens. Sometimes the calls go against you.
The problem that Ireland have at the moment is, Mel, they just can't get in behind the gain line and get in behind the defensive line. They don't seem to have any breakers that actually have the pace to get in behind this Australian defence.
Well, what they're doing on attack is quite standard. We're not seeing any changes in angles or moves. So what's going to happen here? Let's find out.
Heather O'Brien takes it off the back and Oprah runs straight into Trulene Pomare.
No.
And Pomare did not shy away from that tackle. Substitute on, Ciara O'Connor. Made her debut against Scotland as well in the Six Nations. And here's the first touch for Sophie Spence, trying to use her power to get past Shannon Parry. Not too many have successfully done that on a rugby pitch, 7s or 15s. Stapleton to Naupu, floating past to Tyrrell, who runs onto it nicely back inside to Miller. But again, it's all too predictable in Australia. Through Sharni Williams, just shatter them across the pitch and cover the gaps. O'Brien takes the tackle. Muldoon, Fitzhenry trying to go past Mahalia Murphy. Ireland still camped inside their own half. Tyrrell takes the hit from Sovau. Stapleton, O'Brien, Spence looking to get the hands free. Ball presented and presented well from Muldoon. Bit of an overlap on that left hand side if they straighten up. O'Connor had to give that pass. She took it into contact when she had 3 players outside her and then gives away the penalty.
Ireland have only themselves to blame there because this Australian defence is very narrow. They have to look up, identify that and get the ball out to the edges. O'Connor, she had 2 outside her and 2 players you could argue probably faster than her. Pass. Unquestionably
faster than the tight head prop, but then gives away the penalty for not releasing. Maybe just a rush of blood to the head. She's only just onto the pitch and eager to make a name for herself perhaps, but it's just undone all that good work. And now Australia with the penalty and Trey Hearn to put them down towards the Irish 22-metre line.
Australia's struggling in this area of the game. They've won 5 line-outs, lost 4. Whenever they throw to the middle of the line-out, the ball's being thrown just a little too short and it's being picked off, usually by Riley. Keep it basic, keep it simple, go up at the front. That's what I'd do here.
Ball to the back and taken well by Rebecca Clough. And now Australia try and set them all. Ireland do a good job of stalling early momentum, but Australia go again and they make some ground. 22-metre line and still going forward. Ireland have to get back on the right side. They don't want to give away a penalty here. Could be costly. Australia still going forward. Malloy in there to make a nuisance of herself, and then O'Connor told to leave it. Pick and go by Grace Hamilton at number 8. Still there for Australia. This is dangerous for Ireland.
Take a step.
The pass to Millie Boyle, and she almost at the 5-metre line. This is a really good Australian attack. Can they finish with a score? Anything would put them in front. They're going to go wide. Pomare back inside. A winger off the bench, Narita Masters. On her blind side, I should say. And then a pick and go. Almost at the line. Hamilton just short. Desperate Irish defence. Can they keep Australia out? They come in. O'Brien, it's an advantage, and it could be a card because this was a promising position. Heather O'Brien, what was she thinking there? The ball wasn't out. And now a chance from Patu. She's just short. Still playing advantage, and they're over the line to try. Shannon Parry, the captain, crushes over for Australia.
Wow, a complete change in tactic for the Wallaroos. They've turned the tables on Ireland, and they've come up with the pick and go. The pack just taking it up step by step, metre by metre, and Parry, captain fantastic, gold medalist in Rio. She's got a great head on her this one. She knew that the ball was just centimetres away from the try line, and all she did was go over the ruck.
Look what it means to the travelling Australia supporters. They have silenced the Irish home crowd. Shannon Parry, captain in the right place at the right time, and look at the muscle to bash her way over from close range. Bang. That all came from Ireland giving away the penalty when they had possession, they had an overlap, and Australia with the line out, brilliant maul to get themselves in that position, and the rest was just sheer grunt and will to take them over the Irish line.
Look, Australia have played very well, there's no doubt about that, but for Ireland you have to ask the question, is it the pressure of being the home team? There's so much hype before this, so many interviews, you know, it's at this point of the game with over 20 minutes to go that they've got to bounce back, put it behind them, not think about that home crowd.
This time the ball stays on the tee, but this time the strike is awful. There's no other word for it. Samantha Traherne, that's just a really, really bad kick.
And how crucial will that be, that miss? Because this game, only 3 points in it. Oh, look, so exhausted.
You won't get an easier conversion than that, and that's just criminal at this level. The gap 3 points, and Australia get their noses in front for the first time in the game. Heather O'Brien sits down on the bench, and Ciara Griffin from UL Bohemians comes in to play the last 23 minutes of the game. It's a knock-on from Australia, scrum to Ireland. Next point you feel absolutely crucial in a tight match.
Yeah, that was really messy from Australia. I like how they've got their backs ready to receive the kickoff though. It has been a good tackle so far. You just see the boot there of Considine came through and messed it up for the Aussies.
Crush! Bind! Sit!
Ireland lock out the scrum. Muldoon digs one out. Considine off her wing, up to carry it up the middle. Big tackle again on the Irish winger. Stapleton goes to the left. Fitzhenry with the pass to Tyrrell. Alison Miller trying to go on the outsides. Irish crowd on their feet. Sophie Spence goes forward, gets in over the gain line and keeps the momentum going. Muldoon off the deck to Lindsay Peat. Drops the shoulder, tackled by Chloe Butler. Still there for Ireland. This is a decent position and they need points on the board. Maloney. Hamilton goes in to try and steal. Maloney hangs on. Still there. Pick and go from O'Connor. Better carry from the substitute tight head. O'Connor. Griffin.
Release!
Ireland get the scrum.
1, 2, 3, green boys.
Far better attack there from Ireland, starting from the scrum with Considine coming off. She got crunched in half, but had enough physicality to make sure that the ball came back on her team side. That was excellent because everything the Irish did there made metres and they were flat. They received the ball really flat, and that is a complete difference from how they had been attacking before. And here she is here, coming up the blind. And great recycle and lovely skills to get the ball out wide too.
What an opportunity this is for Ireland. 3 points the gap, 20 minutes to play. Ali Miller standing just to the inside of Nora Stapleton. Centre's quite flat for Ireland. They're going to win the scrum. Ball at the back and controlled by Malloy, who's gone into number 8 with Heather O'Brien off the pitch. Muldoon swallowed up and gets away from the first. Miller bounces off the tackle. Alison Miller recycles Pick and go from Riley. Riley runs into a golden wall. Hamilton with the tackle. Still there. Ireland pumping the leg. Sophie Spence on the shoulder. Desperate Australian defence. Ireland looking to get their second try. Just short. Pete recycles and Riley.
Short.
Held short again. Where's that ball? Spence trying to use her strength.
Onside, onside.
The substitutes, Griffin. Griffin's there. Ireland have scored and struck back.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? A near identical try for the Irish. And yes, they absorbed the pressure. They kept their heads and they've just come up with the best sequence of attack that we've seen from them all game, and it's taken them 3/4 of the match to finally show us what they're about. And the body position, the power, the drive, that was brilliant. It was good defence from Australia, but in the end it was only a matter of a couple of centimetres and they got over.
Super sub, Ciara Griffin, playing with UL Bows and Limerick, gets the try that nudges Ireland back in front, and Stapleton underneath the post should make it 14 points to 10 in a 4-point game.
Looks good, girls.
Flags go up. It is a 4-point game and we've 18 minutes to play. Michael D. Higgins, the Irish president, happy with what he sees. Bill Bowman as well. An entertaining contest so far. 14-10. Still anybody's game.
The punt. The crowd is making so much noise. Can Australia hang on?
Take a step.
The floodgates open for Ireland.
Baker restarts. It's going to go to 10. Malloy's underneath it. The Irish captain leading the charge back, and looking up for lovely feet by the open side. Off she goes. Slippery from Claire Malloy, and the try scorer Ciara Griffin into contact.
Leave it, leave it, leave it.
Stapleton queuing up on the left hand side. Here's Alison Miller. Miller trying to go around the outside over the halfway line, and happy to set it up for a scrum half. Malloy once more. Australia looking a little bit tired at the moment. Momentum has swung Ireland's way in the last 5 minutes. Griffin once more.
Tackle!
Muldoon to Spence. Impact substitutions for Ireland. Sophie Spence and Ciara Griffin have made a real difference here. Malloy track to scrum half. Riley back inside. Griffin needs to be careful. That one okay. She landed fair and square, says the referee.
Advantage, straight down.
Australia give away the penalty.
He's gone past the ball. He went past the ball first. Hands on the ground.
Well, the message has gone out to the Irish girls on the paddock that Australia are not reloading the blind side on defence, and so we've seen Ireland go down that left-hand side at least 3 times and make plenty of ground.
Gold, sit on the line.
This is where the penalty happened. You can see there, Campbell, she just didn't release when she went to go for the ball. Always a bit touch and go, those ones. When you make the tackle, when can you attack when you're back on your feet? The ref has to see you take your arms off before you can get back in there.
Good spot for the ref.
No!
The right call as Malloy takes the line out.
She's gone through, she's
Riley
fine.
joins them all. Parry allowed to tackle, and then she leaves it. Has to try and make an attempt to roll away. It's hard when you've got
Back
4
foot.
players lying on top of you, though.
Get them behind, goal.
Griffin carries into contact with Spence on her shoulder. Gets the ball recycled, and here's Sophie Spence into Halisha Samoa. Ball's gone into touch, and it should be a line out to Australia.
You probably didn't want to go out there, Ireland, because they had all the momentum. Once again, put up the jumper, attack that Australian line out. They've had plenty of success there so
Back
far.
10 girls if you're not in.
Gets up, can't hold it. Ireland steal it. Griffin has Maloney outside her. We go back for the first defence. There was no advantage coming.
It's at this point where the lungs are burning, muscles are screaming. It's how mentally tough you are. That ball you throw on just a little bit too high there for Parry.
What have to do to not get the penalty?
No, that turnover you're going for. You just went past the ball first. Just stay on your feet and go for the
Clean
ball.
Maloney just couldn't quite hang on. Attention for Liz Patu as Niamh Briggs looks on. Nervous moments for both sets of supporters with the gap just 4.
Rose, just watch what that guy does.
They haven't really gone to their bench, have they, Australia? Liz Patu's had a massive game. The work that she's put in defence has been really impressive. She's made 7 tackles, she's missed none, 12 hit-ups, 31 metres made. And plus, of course, at scrum time, she's been very competitive there too. The problem with Australia's bench is probably not as much experience as Ireland.
What about those for dancers there, Mel?
Time on.
Yep.
Forward off the top.
Hey, they're having a good time, and that is all that matters.
Absolutely. It's brilliant to see young and old gathered here in UCD for Ireland's opening game in Pool C. 5th against 6th in the world.
Nice long ball. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Scrum set. Muldoon feeds. Australia trying to put pressure on. Malloy has it at the back and now told to use it. Malloy to Muldoon. Dummy runners onto the side. No, he's cut open by Shirley Williams. What a hit that was by the centre. Pick and go by Marie-Louise Riley. Griffin has been everywhere since she's come into the game.
She's fine.
And then Australia dive on it and Hamilton looks to have stolen it.
She was a tackler, she had all rights and she kicked the ball through the ruck. Good play.
Australia surviving some pressure. Can they get it out of their own 22 though? You just feel that Irish fitness levels at the moment are standing to them, and Australia look a little bit tired. Do they have something to break the line? That kick's not going to do justice. Hannah Tyrrell, Stapleton, 2 outsider. Considine calling for it. Considine with no support there. Tackled by Palmari.
Stay team, stay there.
Still there. Griffin.
20's lost.
Tackled by Baker. Stapleton. Malloy. Naupu. Out to Maloney. Maloney on the far side to Miller. Alison Miller inside the 22. Big hit goes in from Ashley Hewson.
Back foot goal.
To put her down and stop her in her tracks. Here is Riley once more. She takes a thumping tackle. Looks like an injury as well to one of the Australian players after making that hit.
Release goal.
Rebecca Clough has to make the hit. Muldoon to O'Connor. Spence back inside to Baxter.
Row 5.
Pete wrestling for it with Liz Patu.
Onside, Captain.
O'Connor.
Tackle!
Desperate Australia defence. Ireland hammering at the line.
The ball's available, she's having no effect. She's had no effect.
From O'Connor. Makes a half metre. Better defence this time from Hamilton, shoving Ireland back. And trying to counter Ruck. They got a blindside. Muldoon to Maloney.
Onside.
Riley trying to dig one out. Australia making life as difficult as possible. Advantage being played to Ireland now. 4 points the gap. A penalty would put 7 between them, but they're not settling for 3 at the moment. They're pushing all the way from the try line, and they're almost there. Griffin. has one try already. Looking for a second. Muldoon to Spence. Sophie Spence for the corner. Is she down? I think we're going to go time out. And go to a TMO. Nothing confirmed yet. The crowd think that she scored. Sophie Spence certainly seems to believe that she got it down. We're going to go upstairs though. Mel,
can you give me
your gut feeling on this one?
Not to award the try.
I think she was initially held up.
Is any reason not to award the try?
I don't know.
That is correct.
If momentum managed to get the ball on the line or on the try line, it's going to be very difficult to see it.
The question is, any reason why I cannot award the try? Was there a double movement, or did she get over here? Let's have a look. Did this ball get to ground just there? Is it down, or is it held up? Inconclusive there.
Look, you know, my instinct would tell me that that's gone over and that is a try.
Did she get that ball down? You can't tell from there. It does look like, on the balance of probability, that she did score.
Yeah, I think the TMO is probably going to say, you know, I haven't found a reason.
Look at the knee. Look at the knee. I think of Baker underneath that ball. She's held that up there. Is that down? There?
Right there.
That's a try, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Initially held up. Momentum takes it over and down. Good strength. And of course, a number of Irish jerseys here to help her over.
You may award the try.
There you go. Try given. Sophie Spence, the two substitutes from Tom Tierney off the bench. First Ciara Griffin, and now Sophie Spence from Belvedere in Dublin, crashing over, which makes it a 2-score game with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's Ireland's depth that they have off the bench, and it's also a master stroke from the coach to have players like Spence ready and available to unleash. She's doing the job out there, and the Irish fans happy indeed.
Nora Stapleton then to try and add the conversion from the corner. As difficult as it gets after a try, she struck it okay. It's gone to the left and wide. The flags stay down. This has been a battle. It's not over yet, but Australia know they need 2 scores to win this game. 9 points the gap. Converted try would leave 2 points behind, and they're running out of time here as another substitute, Sarah Reardon, comes in, and Hannah Naha off the bench in place of Liz Patu. Will the fresh legs make a difference? Ireland have possession. Stapleton. Griffin. Another carry from the back row forward. Malloy.
It's taken back.
Obu, little spin and pirouettes out of danger. Tackled by Parry, and then Parry allowed to play it. That's clever stuff by the captain. Now chance here for Australia. Naha offloads. Australia inside the 22. A try here would set up a grandstand finish with 8 minutes remaining. Baker with a pop pass out to Butler. Looking for runners. Ireland having to defend. Here she comes again. Naha. Little offload to Shannon Parry. Baker once more. They're going to go wide this time. Pomari to Sharni Williams. Nice line of attack from Sarah Reardon, the substitute off the bench. Her first touch. Still there for Baker. Composure and calm hands needed for Australia. Up they go the middle. Grace Hamilton's almost there. They scored the last time they were in this position. Can they get over from here? Ireland offside. Advantage played. A try! Australia have struck back, and this is not over yet, Mel Robinson.
Oh, wow, they just needed the pill, didn't they, Australia? And finally they've got some possession from that very hard-working prop. Alicia Samoa, once again, that continuity play, but it's the power players like Naha coming off the bench, the ability to offload in the tackle, big and powerful. The hard-working Hamilton, gee, how much work has she done today? And a lovely little pop. There's 3 Irish players, no 4, and she still manages to get over.
Now, Ashley Houston is the first choice goal kicker, as Mel said, but this is a big kick because this would leave 2 between them, and a penalty or drop goal could potentially win it for Australia. It's got to go over. It has gone over. 19 points to 17. What a finish we have in store. 6 minutes to play. You would not call this game.
So exciting. This is the way to kick off day 1 of the 2017 Rugby World Cup. Strength and power, contrasting styles out there. What a storyline.
Take a step,
Ireland in front by 2. 6 minutes remaining in this Pool C opener. Taken by Reardon. She's been an impact substitution. Ireland trying to get their hands on it. There for Baker though. And she feeds Rebecca Clough. Back with Baker. Parry. Straight into contact. Naupu puts her down.
No, green.
Australia with possession. Ireland with the lead and the offloads. Doesn't go to hand. It went backwards though. Momentum again has shifted in this game. How many times have we said that? Chance to move this one wide now. Houston back inside to Sharni Williams. Lovely skill. And off goes Williams. Tackled by Malloy, trying to stay on her feet.
Use it.
Baker blocked down. Ball's gone backwards. And then it's popped up for Malloy. It's gone forward. Advantage to Ireland for the knock on. Griffin back in the pocket. Stapleton. Miller's out wide on her own here, and so too is Tyrrell. The pass from Fitzhenry. Tyrrell off the feet, so that's okay. Australia try and pounce on it. Where's that ball? Australia have it now. Ireland get a hand in there illegally, and it's a penalty. What a time to give away a penalty.
Record form.
What a game.
Oh, wowee. Australia on the attack, and then Ireland steal the ball, and then once again, tit for tat, the Aussies get it. Whew. Australia might be ruining the fact that they didn't have a goal kicker out there. That is certainly crucial at this point with them 2 points behind.
Campbell goes to the front. Oh, it's an overthrow. What a time to do that. And Griffin comes away with it. What a moment to lose the head for the hooker for Australia.
On your feet, go. On your feet.
3.5 minutes to play. Stapleton boots it as far as she possibly can. Trey Hearn is back there. Houston in support. Mahalia Murphy nowhere to go except straight into Sene Naupu, who was waiting to make the tackle. Up the jumper from Chloe Butler, and then gets a little slip pass away. Needs to hit the ground. Campbell does well. Butler once more. And the try score, Samoa. 3 minutes to play, 2 points the gap. Australia need to get down inside the Irish half. Ireland, at the moment, it's all about first-time tackles. Home support making their voices heard. Brilliant wraparound tackle by Ashley Baxter. But Australia come away with it. Any chance to go wide? Sharni Williams, bit of pace and a little switch. It's gone into touch. And who did it come off?
I think that came off an Irish player.
Options, scrum or a line-out.
Okay, Mel, your player of the match, please.
Yep.
Play the line-out, Rose.
We've gone for somebody that we noticed, Marie-Louise Riley. She has been outstanding in the line-out. She's pinched a lot of the Australian ball. The work rate she's put out there, she's made it to so many breakdowns. She has been absolutely fantastic. 11 tackles as well.
And Mary-Louise Riley, or Maz as she's known, is the Aon player of the match. We still have time to play, and she could yet be on a losing side. It looks like an Irish possession. And here we see an example, those long arms getting up to steal the ball.
Well, she's 1m92, so they're very long.
It's been a real war in this game. 5 line-out steals, 2 balls on her own throw as well. But the damage that she's done when Australia have had possession has been notable, and equally the work around ruck time and in the mauls directing things and directing traffic. It's all about maintaining and holding possession for Ireland, right?
Let's go, Ireland. Time's on.
Just a couple of minutes to go.
Hold a nice step.
Crucial to win the line out here. It's Maloney, the captain, who gets up.
Line out's over, inside the
2 minutes to play. Australia try and put a shove on. Ireland keeping it tight, as you would expect. Nothing silly, and see out the game for a precious opening victory in Pool C. Murphy came across to make the tackle, and then a bit of a mix-up in the middle. It went backwards, and it's okay. But then it's over. Sharni Williams has won the ball. Sharni Williams over the top, and then Ireland get just enough numbers there. Ireland carry over the halfway line. Spence picks up off the deck, tries the handoff, put on her back, eventually by Chloe Butler. Ireland with a minute to see this one out. O'Connor into contact, the substitute tight head, has more than made amends for that early penalty which led to the Australia try. Little switch with Maloney and Spence. Spence trying to keep hold of that ball. Again, Ireland keeping it tight. They know 3 more carries should do it. Malloy trying to stay on her feet. Baker, is she holding her up? No, eventually it's gone down. 30 seconds to play. O'Connor into contact. No last minute mistakes, and Ireland will have their first win of the World Cup 2017. Drama at its best all the way through this match. Tit for tat from both teams who've given everything in the opening game. It hasn't been flawless by either side, but it's been full of passion, guts, and the glory. It looks like we're going to Ireland. We've got 80 minutes. If Muldoon puts it out, if Stapleton puts it out, Ireland have beaten Australia and they'll have their opening win. Drama, Niamh Briggs can't even look. They've had to fight and scrap for this win, but they've done it. They've beaten Australia in their Pool C opener. Mel Robinson.
That game had everything we could have asked for. It was close. Australia turned up, played brilliantly, but in the end, Ireland and their pack and their impact off the bench, the fact that they had numbers at every breakdown, their smart rugby heads at the end to absorb the time, kick it out in the right moment. They've rewarded their very loyal crowd, packing out this stadium with a magnificent win, a tough game, but one that will probably help them as this tournament progresses.
Well, Claire, what an unbelievable match. What a gutsy, brave match. And I don't think there's anyone more relieved than obviously you and your players than Niamh Briggs herself. How are you feeling?
That was a tough match. The Australians really put us to it. We knew they were going to be a physical side. I'm just really proud of the grit our girls showed. You know, we were under the cosh a bit in the start of the second half, and then we really rose our game. You know, we won those collisions and got those tries at the end. It's an exciting start to the tournament, and 1 from 1.
Absolutely. I mean, down in the second half there, and you're playing at home in front of a home crowd. There's a lot of pressure, but you guys dealt with it so brilliantly. How did you come back from that?
I think I'm just the resilience of the girls and the resolve that we knew if we just held in there that we would generate that possession, we would get up into their half and we create those scoring opportunities.
Absolutely, and obviously 2 subs in the second half, 2 tries, a try from each of them. How much does that show the depth of the Irish bench?
It's fantastic. You know, we're 1 of 28 every time we step onto that pitch, and you know, our bench and the players, the non-playing reserves, are the girls who are going to win this tournament for us.
Well, how emotional is it for you guys in front of this home crowd, and how much did they bring you through today?
Oh, completely. You know, in that second half, when we really had to grind it out, they were completely behind us, and it was just massive when we scored to have that crowd behind us and cheering us on.
Well, massive congratulations today in that win. That was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much.